Bryson, I guess in that second half, did it feel like you guys were just more aggressive on defense, getting deflections, and how did that help y'all just really kind of hasten the tempo and kind of turn things around for you there?
Yes, I definitely think we turned it around in the defensive end. We started taking care of business on that side of the floor. Those guys really came out aggressive, and they was really high motor on the offensive end and defensive end, and we just was having shots falling in. Plus, they were scoring at a high rate. So, I mean, we really locked in on that side, and that really changed the game for us.
Terrence, in terms of your dunk, I believe it was I know it's only 2 points, but did you feel like that really kind of turned the tide for you just in terms of just getting some energy and kind of getting the guys fired up there?
Yeah, it gave us energy. I think we was down at the time, and that's what we do. We feed off each other, and I feel like our team did a good job of feeding off the dunk. And when Kevin got out, we held it up and said we got to pull it together and pull out the win for him.
You talked about playing better defense. I guess what do you feel you all did better today that allowed you all to play that good defense? Not only that, but then just jump out to that quick, I want to say 31-7 kind of start in that second half?
Coach got on us at halftime about the defense we were playing. And actually in the first half, going through it, and I feel like we did a good job of closing out the first half, and we stayed with it in the second half, but we got to finish the game better.
Bryson, just kind of go into what Terrence said. Obviously, not watching a teammate go down isn't the best, but I guess do you feel like you guys have built that resilience and that next man up mentality so far?
Yes, most definitely. You never want to see one of your fellow teammates go down, and seeing K-Mac go down, we were all generally concerned. And, I mean, we knew that was a game that we had to continue to play, and we just all take it personal, and we just took it as we played for K-Mac in that term. So that's how that we feed off each other, just like TJ said, and we fed off that, and we had to flip it around for him.
Y'all mentioned the message at halftime. What did Coach Adams tell you at halftime to kind of switch things going in the right direction that second half?
I mean, mainly he was just saying that we wasn't playing hard enough on defense, and those guys were getting out on us. I mean, we really fought back to get it into a one-possession game leading into halftime. But, I mean, starting off the game, I mean, they were firing. I mean, they came into halftime making 7 threes, and, I mean, that's just unacceptable. And Coach Adams let us know about that, so we knew we had to flip it around on that terms of the floor.
Y'all have been able to stay perfect at home so far, 15-0. What is it about this arena or this crowd that kind of makes it special and makes you guys continue to have success here?
I'm going to say time and time again, we got the best fans in the country. I mean, they show out. I mean, it's a Saturday at 3 o'clock. They come Saturday if we play at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we just got the best fans in the country. They come and support us, and we feed off their energy, and we can always rely on them. So,
TJ, for you, was there some extra motivation coming off that last loss going into this game and just kind of getting back on track?
Yeah, it was a lot of motivation. I feel like we had to prove to coach that we play defense better, and yeah, it was just that. Our defense was terrible last game, and our offense also was bad. We didn't move the ball, and I feel like we did a better job doing that today.
Terrence, what was sort of working for you guys to break down the defense and get good looks today?
The play calling. At halftime, they had like the plays, and we were like 6 for 6, 2 for 3, 4 for 4 in the play calling the coach called. And when we got out of that, we didn't do well. But when we stayed with the play calling that they were calling, we did a good job and scored a lot out of it.
And then Bryson, after that 2 for 17 three-point shooting performance in Norman, was there a bit of a point of emphasis to get more looks inside and take less threes today?
Most definitely. We was working a lot. We've been working a lot on shooting as a team, really trying to – we got to knock down those shots if we want to be the team we want to be. And but we did make a big emphasis on trying to get inside, get some easy baskets, offensive rebounds, running the floor, things like that. So just to get up on the score up some more on the opposing team.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate it.
Mark, I know this is something you kind of keep as a stat, but how big were deflections in that first 4 to 8 minutes for y'all in that second half?
Yeah, they were huge, Carlos. That's one of the things we talk about halftime is the way TCU was moving the ball, very disciplined. You get a lot of respect for the way they came in. They were ready to play, sharp. They moved the ball, great spacing. And so we were trying to disrupt them some way, and that starts with deflections and putting pressure on the ball. So we really kind of got it going with a few minutes in the first half, and then that momentum carried in for most of the second half. But the ball pressure, deflections, and getting steals was huge, and we scored a lot off our defense second half.
I know it still only counts 2 points, but how important are dunks just in terms of just getting the team back, either a spark or just other things like that?
Well, at home, they make a huge impact. I was so proud of our fans. This was an emotional game for TCU, but also for us. It should have been. And our guys got a little down, as you know, when they're we just couldn't stop them. They hit all those threes. I think he had 7 threes the first half, and the coaching staff were trying to pick them up, motivate them, get them emotionally more involved. But I thought the student section, our fans, they were so loud and rowdy. I think our guys responded to them maybe more than us. So, yeah, the dunks and some of those big plays got to rev up the crowd and got us going as well.
I know you alluded to it with the 7 threes, with 5 guys making some of it. I guess, did you almost feel like you were going back to what it was in Oklahoma, or did you just kind of say, just kind of keep going with what's working?
You know, I think it was at least the back of my mind when we played, we were playing pretty well the first half at OU, and then played so bad the second half. This kind of reversed. We played poorly the first, and they played great the second half. So, I'm so proud of our guys. They were very resilient and coming back, and they just showed a lot of determination and character. And again, a lot of that came from our guys just wanting to win and believing in themselves in the process. And then also, we got to give our fans a lot of credit and give TCU credit too. Very good basketball team. I think they were 4-1 on the road, and I can see why now. They have the type of team that's very disciplined, and the way they share the ball and their spacing makes them very tough to beat at home, and I can see them, maybe upset some other teams on the road as well.
Last one from me. I know odd situation with the way Kevin went down, but I guess what's the update on him? And
that was just a freak accident. I think my understanding is he backed up after a shot and actually kind of fell into. I think it was Coach Dixon's hit his foot, but it's an injury. Nothing's broken. It's just. Looks like it's going to be just an ankle sprain right now. So, we're hoping for the best and hopefully be ready for Baylor. We'll just have to see how he progresses, but I know he's getting treatment as we speak.
Coach, was there any adjustment to your defense, late in the first half? Because it seems like the aggression, particularly on the perimeter, was much, much greater than it had been earlier. Looked kind of like Iowa State. Earlier this year.
Yeah, Joe, it was. We going into the game, our plan was they're not a great three-point shooting team, similar to us, and so we backed off some guys and played a little bit more of a gap defense. And then their ball movement was so good, and they're hitting all those threes, we couldn't stay up with them. So we felt like we had to press the ball and try to get some deflections and get them to kind of hurry up a little bit more on offense, and it seemed to work for us. And we kept with that most of the second half.
Coach, can you speak to the intensity that Clarence brings, especially on defense? I think he only had 1 rebound, but he's on the glass every time as the smallest guy on the court, and I think he had 2 or 3 tie-ups for jump balls. Yeah,
Clarence, he's a special breed. It's just the way he plays. He goes just 100% all the time. He's very physical. He's emotional too, and plays with a lot of heart. And so, yeah, he had some valuable minutes, a lot of things you don't see in the stat sheet. But his hustle is, the other players on our team see it, and it's encouraging to see him fight the way he fights. And that's why we put him in when we did. We needed some of that, especially that first half, and I was proud of him. And I told him I thought he had the biggest play of the game when he took a charge. I think it was on the ball. It was a big play against Miles, I believe it was.
Coach, what's your message to the guys at halftime? What do you tell them to respond to that?
It's not worth repeating. But, in this particular game, we'd already had some momentum coming back, and so it's a little different because our guys just kind of see this is, as Joe had asked, we've got to, what we're doing now works, and we just got to continue this. Don't let up again the second half. Let's continue what we're doing and kind of, put the, pedal to the metal or whatever it is and just go at them. And so we did not want to let up and let off of the the gas there, and I thought our guys responded well. We came out that first 5 minutes different than OU. As y'all recall, OU came, right back out, stormed back out, and I think they made the first 9 points. But we were able to capitalize on some defensive mistakes and turn those into scoring opportunities for us. But we just pressured them, and it was a big difference. But got to give guys credit. They listened. They didn't get down, and I use the word resilience, but they certainly were and wanted to win and want to win for this team. And it was a big game and for this great crowd. And we talked about don't ever take for granted what a wonderful place this is to play.
And 4 guys scoring in double figures yet again. Does the depth, did that have a big role in the outcome?
I think it does. And, look how we shared the minutes. You look at Bryson had 16 points in, only 20 minutes. And so this helps us, I think, keep our guys somewhat rested, like for the Baylor game. It also gives other guys the opportunity to score in case somebody goes down, like a Kev, somebody's ready to fill in, or somebody gets in foul trouble. So there's certainly a lot of advantages when you're playing 9 to 10 players.
And Coach, going to Terrence Shannon, it seemed like there were a few times in the game where he came up really gingerly and limping. What can you say just about the toughness he has to always want to get back in the game and help his team out?
Well, I mean, TJ, he loves his team and has a big heart. And, again, I have to try to remind myself as well as the public that, he's been injured and he's still not 100%. And he's playing, mentally and emotionally 100%, but he can't physically play like that. But so proud of him because he led this team and played near perfect game on offense. His defense was much better, made some big steals for us, and so we're starting to see the old TJ back, and that's certainly encouraging for us and something we're going to need if Kev happens to miss this next game.
Another question about TJ. How tough is it to sort of strike that balance between being aggressive but staying under control, and how do you think he did in that regard today?
Better. I think it's, and part of that I think is from the injury. It's just with that back is staying low enough to stop and to be under control. And I think the more healthier he gets, I think you'll see more body control, but doing much better. But it's still one of the biggest challenges all players have on the NBA level and in the college level, is just learning to slow down and stop. And it's a difficult skill to develop, and we work on it every day.
With Bryson Williams, he had 5 points had 5 points on Saturday, lowest since Gonzaga, had 16 today, a lot of that in the second half. Just talk about how he was able to bounce back from what was a rough performance.
Well, that game at Oklahoma was uncharacteristic of Bryson. He's been very consistent all year, so glad to see him get back out of that rut. And he was just in it for one game, so we can't expect him to play perfect every game. But Bryson has been one of those guys that's just, every game he gives us double figures in scoring, and when of course when he doesn't do that, we really struggle. But he had a great game offensively and boxed out and played hard on the defensive end, and so I thought it was one of his better games he's had this month.
Coach, Mike Miles was really one offensive gem for TCU tonight. Just what can you say about him and what he's done in this league, even after missing the last couple games?
Yeah, I mean, he was our focus on defense. He went 5 for 9, 16 points. So, that's he's just a really good player because we were all trying to guard him and we're trying to keep him out of the middle of the floor, but still had 16 on us. But it obviously could have been a lot worse. So great player, scores in so many different ways, and he'll still be a handful when we go to Fort Worth to play him up there. All right, thank you, y'all. Appreciate it. God bless y'all. Thanks.